What is it you're filming today?
Well, at the minute, them.
Him? Just
No, not him. The gatehouse.
Oh, the gatehouse.
Yeah, because I was just walking up and down taking pictures.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping to get a police car with the blue lights coming out.
Yeah.
I've got that now, but you felt me shot anyway.
Okay.
And the gentleman come out and committed a public section 5 public order offence.
Okay, what happened?
He said I'm not allowed to film.
Yeah.
And I explained to him I'm on a public road, so I can film.
Yeah.
And he called me an effing idiot, and it's all on film.
Right, okay. The gentleman in the...
Yeah, he had a security coat on with a big beard.
Right, okay. And you've got that on film?
I have, yeah.
Okay. What, are you wanting us to do anything about that? Were you planning on reporting it, or...?
I've just reported it to you, haven't I?
Right. At the moment, obviously, I'll deal with what you've just reported to me. Okay,
yep.
We'll take that into consideration. But we've had a report before anything of that has come through that there's been a male walking around with a balaclava on. Okay?
It's not a balaclava.
Okay, that's the report we've had. Okay,
right.
Because you are matching that description.
Yep.
I'm detaining you for a stop search under Section 1 of PACE. Okay.
Really?
Based on the fact that that sort of equipment. Okay.
So what's your reasonable grounds?
My grounds are
that I'm wearing a balaclava, which isn't a balaclava.
Okay. You match the description. You are covered in your face, okay?
What exactly are you filming today? Well, right now I'm mainly recording the gatehouse. Earlier I was walking up and down the road, taking a few photos and short clips. I wasn't focusing on any person in particular, just the entrance area of the city. I was actually hoping to capture a police vehicle leaving with its blue lights on because that would make an interesting shot for the video. Yes, I managed to record something like that a moment ago, so Evie already got the footage I wanted. It was just part of the video I'm putting together. A short time ago, a man came out from the gatehouse and approached me. During that interaction, he behaved in a way that I believe could fall under a public order issue. The officer asked what exactly happened. He told me that I wasn't allowed to record video in this area. I calmly explained that I was standing on a public road, and from a public place it is generally allowed to film. During the conversation, he became upset and called me an insulting name. The entire exchange was captured on my camera, so everything that was said is recorded. All right, the officer replied. The person you're referring to, was he a security guard? Yes, that's right. He was working as security and had a noticeable beard. The camera clearly shows him coming out and speaking to me. And you have all of this recorded on video. Yes, the whole interaction is saved on the recording. Okay, the officer continued. What would you like us to do about it? Are you planning to make a formal complaint or report the incident? Well, I thought I had already reported it by explaining it to you just now, the man replied. At the moment, the officer said, I take note of what you told me and consider the information. However, we also received a report earlier about someone walking around the area wearing a face covering. It's not actually a balaclava, the man responded. It's simply a piece of clothing covering part of my face. I understand, the officer said, but the description we received mentioned someone with a face covering, and you do match that description. Because of that, the officer continued, I'm going to carry out a stop and search under Section 19 of PACE. The report mentioned cerebral equipment related to certain offenses, so we need to check. The man asked, what exactly are your reasonable grounds for the search? My grounds are based on the report we received and the description that matches you, the officer explained. You're also wearing something that covers your waist. But it isn't a balaclava, the man replied. I understand your point, the officer said, but your waist is still partially covered, and that matches the information we were given. For that reason, you're going to proceed with the search. To be clear, the officer added, this is simply a routine check based on the report. Once the search is complete, je be able to move
We're
forward.
looking at offences such as theft, going equipped, that sort of thing.
Okay.
That sort of equipment can be used for that. Okay.
Right. So what are you looking for then, particularly?
So any further equipment that could be used for in the course of conducting an offence such as theft or going equipped. Okay.
All right.
So because
You do realise you'll get a civil claim over this?
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Because I'm quite a small female and you're quite big, I'm going to place you in handcuffs because you're an unknown risk to me. Okay. So
Right. Does it have to be a male? You're not stopping recording.
No.
Handcuffs on by anybody.
Yeah.
What are you doing holding the handcuffs?
I'm just doing like that, holding a handcuff. That needed an explanation.
Well, it does. Look at your nails. You nearly scratched me with them.
Handcuffs can be used as a weapon, can't they?
Can they?
So
What, when I'm in handcuffs?
Yes.
I can assure you now I'm going to cooperate. I don't agree to the search and I don't
That's fine.
consent to the search. I'll make that
You
clear.
don't have to
Agree
consent.
to it, okay. I've detained you in a sectional case. You don't have to agree to it. It's
Yeah,
not a
no.
voluntary thing, okay? Right. Will you want a copy of the stop search record?
Yes, I will.
Sorry. Can you hold them for
Yeah,
me while I
yeah.
just? Sorry.
Honestly, I'm not going to try and break out.
Yeah, but as
I'm
you
not
can
gonna get
imagine,
far, am I?
a lot of
The officer explained, you're checking in case someone might be carrying tools or items that could be used for an offense, such as preparing for theft or something similar. The man responded, all right, but what kind of items are you actually looking for? IT would help if you could be specific about what you expect to find. The officer replied, you're looking for anything that could potentially be used to carry out an offense. That could include tools or objects linked to stealing or gaining access to property. We simply need to check and make sure nothing like that is present. The man then said calmly, you should know that situations like this can sometimes lead to a civil claim if the stop isn't properly justified. I just want to make that clear from the start. The officer answered, that's noted. However, because I'm physically smaller and you are larger than me, I'm going to place handcuffs on you while we conduct the search. This is simply a safety measure, as I don't yet know your level of risk. The man replied, it doesn't have to be handled that way. I'm not resisting, and I'm continuing to record everything. Here is no need for force here. Looking at the cuffs, he asked, why are you holding the handcuffs like that? The moment created a small bit of laughter, but the officer remained focused on completing the procedure. The officer then added, for safety reasons, I also need to consider anything that could potentially cause harm, even small things. For example, sharp nails could accidentally scratch someone during a struggle, so we take precautions. The man responded, I want to be clear that I'm cooperating. I will not resist in any way. However, I do not agree with the search, and I'm not giving consent for it. I just want that point clearly stated. The officer explained, you don't have to give consent in this situation. Under the legal powers you're using, the search can still go ahead. It's not optional once someone has been detained under this section. After a moment, the officer asked, would you like a copy of the stop answer record once this is completed? Yes, the man replied. I would like a copy for my record so I can review everything later. As they continued, the man added, you can relax, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not trying to run off or cause any trouble. He continued speaking calmly. From my point of view, the reason for the search seems to be changing. First it was about a face covering, and now it's about cerebral theft. It feels more like speculation rather than a clear and specific reason. He finished by saying, if there is a real concern, it should be clearly explained. Otherwise, it starts to feel like the situation is being stretched beyond the original report.
Being in a public place with a face covering, that's the offence.
Right. What's your name? Sorry, just so I can.
I don't give my name.
Okay. So I need it to complete the form, and also if you want to process your complaint about the public order thing, I'll need your details anyway.
Right. You can just call me FT.
FT, okay. I'm
Yeah.
going to need more than that if you want me to deal with that complaint.
No.
Because I can't deal with that.
So
if
you
don't
don't
give
want to
me
make a
details.
complaint about the Section 5 public order offence, because you would need to give your details as a victim.
All right. So if there's a murder and the person's dead, how do they make a complaint? Do they give their name? I don't think so.
That's quite a different situation.
Is it?
and we generally identify.
Right, we're getting on with this search. We've got better things to do than stand here talking around to you
Well,
muppets.
you didn't have much better things to do because you were standing here filming, weren't you?
You had the grounds to search, explain to you and everything.
Well, yeah, apparently they're looking for, what is it you're looking for? Crowbars?
That can be used in the identifier.
Wow.
Been detained in section 1 of case then PC 3096. I'm policing from here, this police station here, Fly Police Station.
Congratulations.
So, been offered a copy of the search record?
I have been offered a copy of search. You don't need my name for that though.
The officer started. Being in a public place with you always covered it as outscourging the concern here. The man replied, I'm not giving my name right now. The officer explained, I understand, but I need your details to complete the official form. Also, if you want to file a complaint about this public order matter, you need your information anyway. The man said, all right, you can just call me FT for now. The officer nodded, okay, FT. If you later decide to make a formal complaint, I can help you with that process. The man added, I'm not making a complaint about that incident because I understand it need to provide my personal details as part of IT. The officer commented, I see. Imagine a different scenario, like if someone passed through and you wanted to make a complaint. They won't be able to do IT anonymously either, right? The man responded, that's a very different situation. I understand that. Let's just focus on the current search for now. The officer continued, we have more important matters than standing here debating. We need to move forward with the search. The man replied, sure, but you were just standing here filming too, weren't you? We all have our roles. The officer then explained, the reason for the search is based on what you've observed and the description you've been given to. The man asked, and what exactly are you looking for? The officer replied, you're checking for anything that might be used improperly. Tools, items, or objects of concern. The man chokered like crowbars. The officer nodded, yes, any items that could be relevant. All of this is part of the procedure. Everyone's safety is considered too. The man confirmed, I've been informed and offered a copy of the search record. The officer added, you don't need to provide your full name just to get that copy. The man commented, it seems the situation with the public order concern has been misunderstood a bit. Later, as the search continued, the officer said, you remove the top handcuff first. The man asked, that didn't really need to be put on, did it? The officer replied, when someone is detained for a search, we can choose to use handcuffs for safety. It's standard procedure, and it's legally allowed. The man nodded, all right, go ahead. He did, I want to make sure you can see the marks on my hand from earlier. That way everything is clear and documented. The officer acknowledged that everything is being recorded carefully. Thank you. Let's check the surroundings as well. The man looked around and counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 police officers here. All constables, no detectives. Nothing being overlooked, right? He laughed lightly. The inspectors inside either can. He continued, later on, I might record the license plates of these vehicles too, just for documentation purposes. The officer asked, why would you do that? The man smiled. I like to take videos and post them online. It's not illegal to record in public, and IT helps keep a record of what's happening. The officer agreed. Exactly. You are allowed to film in public spaces as long as no one's rights are being violated.
It's the top cuff's going to come off first.
Shouldn't have been put on really, should it?
When you're detained for a search, it's the officer's choice whether to put you in handcuffs, but we are legally allowed to do so.
We'll see. Just so you can witness the markings on my hand?
Yep.
I'll go towards the... Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4 police cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 police officers. We all constables. No detectives here, is there? No inspectors. Couldn't detect anything, could they? What I might do later, I might film all these registrations in here as well. Alright. I'll probably just put them on the internet.
What are you going to do that for?
Because I like taking videos and putting them on the internet.
People's registrations of the vehicles.
It's not illegal though, is it?
You can film wherever you want.
Exactly.
The search
The officer asked, "Why are you wearing that thin blue line boots?" The man replied, "It's part of a statement I'm making. Did you know that in the last 30 years more members of the public have died in police custody than officers have lost their lives on duty in the past 2 years?" The officer paused. "Do you have a badge for that kind of silence?" The man smiled. "I feel good about raising awareness. I've done what I can today, and now I go home and share the story with others so they know." The officer then said, "I need to advise you that, in some interpretations, your actions could be considered as surveillance or monitoring that raises security concerns too." The man was surprised. "Wait, I just said you did a good job today." "That's all I meant to." The officer explained. "Even taking photos of official vehicles could be seen as sensitive, depending on the context. We have to consider security risks carefully too." The man shook a head lightly. "So now taking photos is a serious offense. I'm just documenting what I see. Everything I do is open and visible to the public too." The officer continued, "It's not just about photos, it is about the potential for that activity to be interpreted as security monitoring too." The man replied calmly, "If I were doing that kind of monitoring, I wouldn't be so obvious, would I? Everything I'm doing is in plain view too." He did, and even if someone thought I was conducting surveillance, I have the right to be here. I could map out this area if I wanted, but I'm not doing anything secretive. The officer said, "I'm just making you aware that, technically, your actions could be seen in that way for security purposes too." The man responded, "I understand, but if you really thought I was a threat, you wouldn't all be approaching me like this. Instead, contact the proper security or anti-terrorism authorities too." He concluded firmly, "I'm here in public, visible to everyone. Here is nothing hidden or suspicious about what I'm doing too."
What I said was, your actions can be construed as hostile reconnaissance.
I've had enough of you now, off
terrorism
you pop.
offences.
Not talking to you anymore. Talk rubbish.
We can be here just as much as you can be here.
Oh, yeah, I know you can. But I can tell you to off your pop. Anybody filming?
Yep.
Yeah.
Body cams on, yeah.
Oh, you're supposed to tell me at the first available opportunity.
Am I?
As part of your policy. You don't even know your own policy. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Can you just inform him that if he swears at me again, I will press charges?
I'm watching too much American TV. You don't press charges.
Alright, then I'll file a claim.
You can make it. Do you
want your coffee?
Yes, I do.
There you go. Right, he's having a word with him, okay? And we'll leave you to it. But
Should have left me to it in the first place.
no, we had grounds to stop and speak to you instead.
I don't think you
Okay.
did.
Okay, that's fine. Be mindful of what my colleagues just said to you, okay?
What, that I'm a terrorist? If you thought I was a terrorist, you should act on it now. Off your pop. Off your pop. Off your pop. See you later.
Alright, so we stand here all day.
Alright, cool. Yeah, see? Knew you'd leave first.
I'll bid you.
Wait, are you going to the shop to buy some polish for your boots? Not seen a bit of polish in years then?
The officer said, "I need to point out that your actions could be seen as monitoring or gathering information in a way that raises security concerns." The man replied, "If hit enough of these batch comforts, I'm done engaging with that line of argument. Another officer spoke up, "You're allowed to be here just as much as you are." "I know that," the man answered, "but I can all set boundaries about how you speak to me. Is anyone recording this? You're supposed to notify me as soon as possible, one officer said. The man responded, that's part of your procedure, but it seems like you don't even fully know your own rules. It's a bit confusing too. An officer added, please tell him that if he speaks disrespectfully again, it could lead to formal action. The man smiled lightly. I think you're everything. If no formal action is taken, I just submit a claim myself. By the way, would you like your coffee? Here you go to. The officer acknowledged that. All right, is having a word with him now. Is stepped back to. The man continued. I should have been left alone from the start. That would have been simpler for everyone to. Nah, we just needed to speak to you first, the officer replied. The man said calmly, okay, that's fine. Did my colleagues explain everything clearly to you? The officer answered, yes, understood. The man did, and just to be clear, if anyone thinks I'm a threat, appropriate action should be taken right away. There is no reason for hesitation to. He shook a head. All right, I step aside now. I'm going to stand here and wait. Cool talk. See, I know you'd leave first, he said with a grin. Sometimes you just have to make your move to. He looked around and joked. Wait a minute, are you heading to the shop to get polish for your boots? I haven't seen anyone do that in years.
So why'd you wear the thin blue line badge then? Part of the gang? Do you know more people, the public, have died in police custody in the last 30 years than police officers have died on active duty in the last 100 years? Where's your badge for that? Silence. Feel proud today? Done a good job today? Go home and tell the children.
I advise you that your actions could be construed as hostile reconnaissance towards terrorism.
What? I just said you've done a good job today.
Police personal vehicles.
Hostile.
For the purpose of putting them on
Terrorism.
for whatever reason that might
Oh,
be.
go on, keep digging that hole.
It's hostile reconnaissance for terrorism offences.
Hostile. If I was hostile reconnaissance, I wouldn't be overt, would I?
No,
I'd be
you don't understand
covert.
what hostile reconnaissance means. It's all right.
You're allowed to do reconnaissance.
You're
If
not
I wanted to, I could map all this ground.
It could be construed as committing hostile reconnaissance for terrorism offences. I'm just
Right.
making you aware
Right,
of
okay,
that.
let me make you aware of this. If you think I'm a terrorist, you should leave me alone and contact the anti-terrorism squad. Because if you thought I was a terrorist, you wouldn't all come up to me like this, would you?
When the officer